Mike's your fault.
Mike's on fire, no holes to douse. First responders break it down in the house. Cuffs, bandages, flames, and sirens. Flavor in the podcast, forever inspiring. Responders unplugged, raw truth in the sound. Hero shed his-
What is up, guys? This is going to be episode 3 of Responders Unplugged. And for those of you watching on YouTube, obviously you can see that our police chief, Big Daddy Z117, which is his TikTok handle. If you don't follow him, hop over there and give him a follow. He is still here because we're not done yet, 30 minutes just wasn't enough time. So we're going to talk about some crazy people, tweakers, dealing with crackheads type stuff, and some funny moments. Yeah. So, and also our buddy Hambone is joining us here tonight off camera. I'm going to clip this in so you guys can see him. Be sure and wave at the camera one more time. Thank you. Okay. So if you see us looking over there, or you hear some random laughs or random commentary coming from the backdrop, that's where that's coming from. Obviously, I'm Sheepdog 291. You guys probably already knew that. We got Big Daddy Z, aka Silverback, because he looks like a silverback gorilla and he loves bananas.
Constantly.
He loves bananas or anything shaped like that. It's kind of weird. I don't know. And then, of course, we got Band-Aid over there. So we're going to jump right into it. The first one we're going to talk about, their initials are DW. Like the Arthur show.
Let's not run down that route.
Oh, I think we should run down the road, the rabbit hole of the childhood shows that we used to watch. Like, hey, it's Franklin. Coming over to play.
It bothers me the voice you do.
I wish that I could remember the Arthur theme. How did it go? Do you know it?
I remember it goes like, "Hey, something is something." That's all I
No.
remember. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
I know I am.
Hey, what a wonderful time of day.
Yeah.
Just something man play
Yeah.
along with each
Each other.
other. Oh my God, you're right. That's it.
Core
seen it.
memories
How does it
unlocked.
go? Hey,
You're gonna get us
what a
copyright
wonderful
struck.
time
You
of
should stop.
day.
You should stop while you're
Come
ahead.
along and play and get along with each other.
Good thing you're a good cop because you're not very good.
Remember, that's your boss. Don't say anything mean.
Thank you. Anyways, DW. Chief?
You
I know
started
you got.
off.
I know you got some stories.
I know I
they
don't.
used to
So it's on
date.
YouTube.
They used to
You're-
date back in the day.
We did not date, but you're lucky you didn't get to see him
I'm glad.
in his birthday suit
with his bird hanging out.
with his bird hanging out.
And for those of you watching, you don't know what a bird is.
Google it.
don't
just-
Google it.
Don't.
Don't Google it. I mean, you
Google
could
it.
Google it. I
Whenever
guess,
we
but-
refer to bird and or hanging bird, bird means
Genitalia.
the male genitalia.
or just the normal bird.
Zoom in on his face.
Don't zoom on my face.
You're zoomed in on right now. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm not zoomed.
I love to zoom in on people's faces. I also like to blur.
I like the blur one.
Me blur your face?
Yeah, blur my face.
I'm not blurring your face. Okay.
Start us off. Let's go.
So DW. For everybody listening, he is really weird, actually. But
He's actually really weird.
He's super weird.
Old weird guy. Like the weirdest of old weird guys.
Yeah, really perverted. Likes wearing women's lingerie, painting his nails. However, a certain call almost went home on time.
You thought.
I thought. A call came out. Basically, this man is nude right next to the middle school on the sidewalk.
And for those of you who don't know what nude is.
Google it.
No, that means that you don't have any clothes on. Nude is what you are whenever you come out of the womb.
Or watching this podcast because I'm not going to judge.
Yeah, if you want to watch podcasts nude,
I think
that's completely fine.
90% of people watching is probably on the toilet.
Yeah.
Facts.
Or probably like driving on a road trip or something. They're on Apple Podcasts, maybe.
Yeah.
All 4 people that are going to watch this video.
It's just family.
Yeah.
Hey, we like to support. That's all that matters.
Well,
That's true.
Well, anyway, thought I was going to go home on time. Call comes out. This guy's nude by the middle school, and of course I'm like, crap.
Which is also a separate crime in itself, being naked and
Yeah.
being an
I
adult
think
near
we-
the school.
Yeah, but I also think that we looked to see where the line was if it was on school property or not, because it would have been a little different. But he wasn't on school property.
So it was on the other side of the street.
Yeah, well, it was on the same side of the street. Just
He was
not-
at your house, right?
No,
Oh.
he was at my house. He said he was going for a walk because it was hot outside or hot inside, and so
What time of year was this?
it was summer. Yeah, no, and of course I show up on scene, and of course he's naked, completely naked.
So the one-time dispatch information was correct.
Yeah, yeah. When you add like, I guess.
I mean, what happened? Like,
I mean, that's basically it.
like you just show up and dude just
yeah, he just said
was he
that.
like standing somewhere or like
Yeah, he was
flicking
right
his bean or anything?
No, he had a bird. Remember?
Whatever. You can still flick your bean if you have a bird. You got two beans.
Either way, he just said it was hot outside. I've dealt with him a whole bunch of times in lingerie and
Did
painted.
it look like an
fingernails.
acorn sitting on a beanbag chair?
What?
His bird.
I didn't look at it.
Yes, you did.
Okay, you cannot sit
Don't
there.
even,
you cannot sit
like,
there and
I
say
didn't even
with a clear
look at
conscience
it.
that you did not.
Well, if you
glance
didn't look at it, then you can't sit here and say that
He was nude.
nude.
Yeah, because he could be wearing like a little mankini underneath there,
Yeah,
I
you
guess-
don't know.
I
or a
guess I have to
loincloth.
say that I didn't see it enough to know what it exactly looked like.
So you did look. So you're a ball
I mean, you-
gazer.
You know, you
That's
can
super
see-
weird that you looked at that.
Yeah, gosh,
Wow.
Oh,
super unprofessional.
should we talk
did
about?
it look like an acorn sitting on a beanbag chair or no?
I don't remember. I don't think you could see it.
Okay. Well,
I think the belly hung over a little
no.
bit. Yeah, the skin. Yes. Did you see him naked?
No, I didn't date him.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing like making your boss uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable. I just didn't date an old 70-year-old man.
Allegedly. Who was nude? So my funny story with him is he basically pulled into a parking lot and was asking a young male. He ended up being 18 years old, but this guy didn't know that pulling up there, and he asked him if he was soliciting, and the kid's like, "Soliciting? What do you mean?" And he's like, "Are you prostituting, or whatever the word is for that?" Soliciting, basically. And the kid was like, "No, I'm not. You're weird. Like, get out of here." So, anyways, he flagged me down. I was going through the parking lot. He's like, "Hey, this creepy old guy wearing lingerie with his nails painted pulled in here and said, not that there's anything wrong with men painting their nails. I'm not saying that. It's just weirder whenever he does it because he's already weird."
In women lingerie.
And women's lingerie and asking young people if they're soliciting. He told me what happened. I was like, well, I'll go find him and try to talk to him about it. Like, it's kind of weird that he's doing that. I ended up pulling him over, like, right outside of his house. And he was, in fact, wearing women's lingerie. And I walked up there and I'm like, hey, is there any reason why you're asking teenagers if they're prostitutes? And he looks me dead in the eyes, straight in my soul, turns and looks at me and he goes, "Yeah, because I'm horny." I'm like, okay, buddy. Which, I mean, it's not really a crime necessarily to do
No.
that.
Hey, did you get his phone number?
I did. Yeah, I got him from him. So
Yeah, I'm glad I never had to deal with this guy.
you should be glad.
Oh, I am.
Oh, we
totally.
almost called E EMS.
Well, good thing because I work on the opposite side of the county. I wouldn't have been.
But I bet you've dealt with the crazy lady on High Street.
Yes, multiple times
Tell
from
us about that
dispatch,
crazy lady.
fire, and EMS side. Crazy Lady on High Street is a very well-known person in the first responder community in our county.
Yes.
I've shown up to her.
Didn't you date her?
Oh,
Why is everybody dating everybody?
I don't know what your fantasies are, man, but
No
I would hate to
kidding.
be in your head. No, but we got called out there when I was working dispatch that she fell, couldn't get up, and she lost her cigarette and could smell smoke. So dispatch, EMS, law enforcement, everybody there.
And she's on oxygen.
Yes.
I have to
forget
add that.
Yeah, sorry, she's on oxygen.
I have
you
to
know.
add that because that just takes the cigarette burning on the carpet to a whole new level whenever they're on oxygen, because they could just literally blow up the whole house.
It's more like an intense flame in that one section.
I don't know. I'm not a firefighter, nor do I care.
You were though.
Continue.
Anyway,
Continuing.
I wasn't really a firefighter. I was a glorified hose dragger.
Facts. But when we get there, the law enforcement on scene asked if I could kick in the door because having a background in fire, it's a little more less paperwork for us to make entry than for them.
For who?
State,
State, like highway patrol?
yes.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot less paperwork for me on my side to kick in the door than his.
None.
Yeah, honestly, there's no paperwork from my side.
There's a whole bunch less paperwork because I didn't do any.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
called the chief and said, "Hey, chief, I kicked in this door." All right,
That's pretty much what it was.
10-4 copy.
But
Whatever you guys.
we
talk
found
about.
her halfway off the couch, legs in the air, just the Eye of Mordor staring at us through the front door. If you don't know what the Eye of Mordor is, Lord of the Rings.
Are you referring to her genitals or her rear end?
Her genitalia.
Was just right
Just
there.
spread eagle, one leg on the couch, the other one almost on the coffee table. You make entry to the door, and it's just right there.
First thing you see.
First thing you see.
how long did you stare? I guess.
Well, I mean, it's like an alley cat.
How long
So,
did
like,
you stare?
you've all seen an
I
alley.
guess what I want to know is how long you looked at it.
I mean, you've all seen the alley cat in the middle of the side of the road, just tore up. You could tell it's had better days in its life.
so you
Yeah.
you stared at it long enough to get a very good description.
Oh, absolutely.
Why was she even in that position?
She, and I quote from what she told us, she was trying to kill a spider on the ceiling, and she had no reason to be on top of her couch.
No. She's like 80. She's not that old.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
she's
think
like
she's
70s
She's
now.
in her 70s.
She's in her 70s.
So when this call
Either
came in-
way, if you're that old, this is a disclaimer for all the...
Did you just break my mic stand?
Oh, I fidget. No, it's fine.
A disclaimer, though, for all the elderly people out there. Call someone younger. Anything to do with your ceiling. Or
Yeah, do
anything
not get on
high-
chairs.
yeah,
do
yeah,
not get on
ladders.
stools. Nothing like that. If you have to get above standing level, do not.
Yeah.
Because you're going to end up breaking the hip.
And then he's gonna have to show
And
up.
that
I'm
is
gonna
first
have to show up.
responder approved message.
Yes.
Because we're the ones that have to come pick you up.
But I mean, you guys have stories on there too. I mean, I know you've been around the block with her once or twice.
I have been to
Yeah,
her
they dated.
house.
Yeah.
They
so
dated.
you dated her, and then I dated her. He says.
Yeah.
No, what?
But she wants to date me.
she wants to date you.
Yeah, the beautiful
You're-
man
you're
with the
good-looking
beard.
beard.
Yeah.
man,
Send me that good looking deputy with the beard.
dude. She's wild. I mean, we could.
You would
probably-
know.
We could probably sit here for 30 minutes talking about the lady that lives on High Street,
Crazy lady that lives in
the
the
crazy lady that.
Yeah,
lives
I
on
went
High
over
Street.
there one time because she called and said that somebody shot through her window. And when I showed up there, she was dressed like Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5 with a dingy white T-shirt, gray sweatpants, tucked into cowboy boots. And she answers the door. She's like, "Oh, come on in, honey.
Sounds
I
like
wanna
you're
show
kind
you
of
over here where they shot through the window." I'm like, "Okay." Walking through the house, I'm following her. She just lets out the biggest fart you've ever heard in your life. And I thought she did it on purpose, like it was supposed to be funny. So I laughed out loud because I couldn't help it. It was like, and I just kind of lost it. She just kept on trucking, like nothing ever happened. And she's small too. She's a little bitty lady, like
probably 110-pound soaking wet.
maybe, yeah. And she farted like a silverback gorilla.
Okay.
But she showed me the hole in the window, which was a bug smudge. And of course, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna investigate this for sure." Because if you don't buy into it, she just gets pissed. So
Yeah, she gets stuck on the same person.
yeah, if you don't like investigate it, she'll just call in like every hour.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just
asking if they're gonna come back
yeah.
over and over.
Remember when she lost her dog or her dog got stolen or whatever? Like she would literally.
It was in the
call-
backyard, in her fenced-in backyard.
She was calling in like multiple times a shift for days in a row, saying someone stole her dog, and we're like, we're tired of going over there to tell her that her dog is in her backyard. We go over there and we're like, it's here.
It's literally here.
It's in your backyard.
Then she'll say the next door neighbor had to put it back.
Yes. Her next, I just know that her next door neighbor has to be a saint. Having
Yeah.
to put up with her.
Oh, I know.
And don't get us wrong. Like we did everything we can to try to help her. It's not like we just don't care. But she doesn't meet the criteria for us to 96 her. She's not suicidal or homicidal, so we can't really do much. So we've forwarded all that information to the court system and what's the technical name for the lady that does that? Like you know, I know, yeah.
I know her name.
Caseworker.
Yeah,
Caseworker.
the caseworker.
Like,
So the
what is the name
caseworker is
of the
trying to
lady?
get something going or whatever, and they may have because we haven't got any calls over there. Recently.
We transported her a couple months back to her nursing home, and
okay.
she was out.
Well, she's definitely out because she keeps commenting on Facebook.
Yeah, she is rehabilitated per the nursing home staff.
She
So they
DMs
allowed
our
her-
police department Facebook page all the time, complaining about how she can't read the post,
Yeah, it says that we need to make the post bigger. And
the
she
font bigger because she can't read it when she could literally just.
Well, haven't you just like
Zoom
commented
in.
and told her like zoom in?
doesn't- Yeah, we have.
But she doesn't know. Like
Okay,
she
that's
don't get
fair.
it.
I mean, we've all worked with her enough.
Yeah, it's like you have to explain it to her. Like put your index finger and your thumb on the screen and simultaneously pull out.
I
And
mean,
then she'd be like, "Can you come over here and show me?" And then she'll call for
I
4
mean,
days in a row.
it's bad enough when you just hear the first digit of her house, you automatically know who you're going to.
Well, it's funny because I came on duty one day, 7 a.m., and I get a call that I gave me the address. Well, the numerics was 411, which I instantly thought her house.
Yeah.
But it was on the other side, 411. So I went to her house first, and I'm pounding on her door. And
Oh, it was instead of
south,
it was north.
yeah, and-
Yeah.
but I was pounding on her door, and she didn't answer. I'm like, whatever. So I get in my car. The lieutenant for the sheriff's office radios like, hey, I'm on the north side. I located it. By the way, the person that we were going to was a naked dude sitting by a tree in somebody's backyard. So I thought it was her.
Which he also dated.
So I respond over there, and I told the lieutenant, I'm like, hey, sorry, I went to the wrong address. I instantly thought when you said somebody's naked in somebody's backyard, I thought it was her because she's called about that before.
Yeah.
She's called about that people's naked in their backyard or somebody's
Broke into her house naked
yeah,
or whatever.
doing things in her backyard while staring at her while she's in her house. So we take care of the naked dude by the tree. He had a warrant, so we just took him to jail.
Oh, that's the best
Yeah.
outcome.
Best way to take care of
almost
people.
zero paperwork. Almost.
Zero, like virtually zero
Yeah.
paperwork.
Well, then she calls 30 minutes later, complaining about somebody pounding on her door, thinking it was her neighbor. And I go over there. I go over there, and I'm like, no, it was me. And she's like, no, it was at like 7:30 this morning or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, that was me.
No, couldn't have been you. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't you. I seen him.
So like hours later, then she calls back about her dog. So
Yeah, it's like a never-ending cycle of. But oh, go ahead. No, I don't want to interrupt you, Band-Aid.
Oh, I don't think I was gonna ask a question from your guys' point of view, because not law enforcement or anything like that. I mean, I've been keep seeing a lot of this debate about body cams. How do you guys feel about them? Like, do you guys feel like it's a pro or a con in your guys' line of
We'll
work?
go down that rabbit hole on a later episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that is a whole.
that's gonna take a little.
Oh, because
That's
like
a
I
whole
mean,
thing in itself.
my opinion is because you two are law enforcement. It's good to have
Yeah.
that discussion just
It-
besides with
All
one
I'll
person.
say is we don't have them, and we don't require them.
Right. Not at our agency.
Not at our agency or the agency, any agency. Well, there's one in our county that
Yeah.
does. No,
Well,
I don't think they do.
yes, they do.
They do require.
Yes, they
Okay.
require it.
So, anyways,
Well, that was the old chief of police. I don't know about the new chief
Yeah.
of police.
hire people you can trust.
that's right.
You know. Anyways, so we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole yet. But make sure you like and subscribe to Responders Unplugged because we might talk about that later.
Part 4.
Zoom in on my face. Now zoom in on his face. You're zoomed in on. So handsome.
So,
All right,
Any other funny crackhead geeked out people
Yeah.
that you've dealt with or you dealt with?
One thing that comes to my mind is whenever I was in the police academy still, and I was riding with you in the evenings, and you were training me whenever we went out to the Weaselville apartments. And yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't you date her too?
No, I.
Just kidding.
If you can't tell, our chief of police have gotten around.
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
guess so.
Uh,
All the crackheads.
no, we went out there for, I think it was like a stolen firearm situation or something. And this tweaker basically was outside talking to Zach, and I'm kind of at the door of the car. I wasn't a cop yet, so I couldn't like get super involved in stuff. And like, I'm gonna do my best impression of how she was talking, and this isn't even exaggerated. Like, this is literally how she was talking.
And the mouth movement.
Yeah, and she's like, you know, like he ain't been here like a week, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like he stayed here, you know what I mean? And then like the gun came up missing, you know what I mean? And like he called me and stuff, like, you know what I mean? But I didn't even know where that, you know what I mean? Like she was like talking like this the whole time, and me and Big Daddy here were like picking up on it, like it was starting to get funny, like because she was saying it over and over and over and over, and this guy right here doesn't handle that very well.
No.
Like, if something's funny,
Don't
all,
look at me.
all you have to do is look at him, and he'll just lose it. So, like, the whole time, I'm just, like, trying to get his attention so I can make him laugh while
I'm
he's
like
talking.
looking away.
Yeah, he's like talking to her, and she's, like, over here, and he's, like, looking away because he knows I'm going to look at him. And, like, she's over there just getting it, dude. She's like, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And at one point, you got in the car, and she comes to the window. And she's like talking to him through the window or whatever, and he's still just like ignoring me. So I got to step it up. I got to take it to the next level. And she said something, and I don't remember exactly what it was verbatim, but I literally was like, yeah, you know what I mean? And he just lost it. And of course, she's like, what's going on? You know, like, what's so funny? And you told her that you were like, you had something funny on your phone or something like that?
Yeah, someone, I think the dispatcher messaged me or something.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he being a weak, you know what I mean? Anyways. Sorry, I got a bad cough. It's probably COVID.
It probably isn't. Anyway, so what about you, Band-Aid? I'm sure you've ran into some crackheads that are pretty whiny or funny.
That's
and
about
can't
it. I
lose
mean, we have two kinds of crackheads we deal with. One, Narcan. They come out of it and they want to get out of there as quick as possible because they don't want to deal with law enforcement or go to the hospital because usually it's like,
Anybody in a uniform.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the most response we've gotten from somebody Narcan is, you ruined my high, bro.
What do you?
And I get tired of hearing that. It's like,
Dude,
I
come
just
on,
saved
bro. I
your
was about
life.
to get there, man. I was right there. It's like that song. What's that song? I was climbing out of a cottonwood tree, yada, yada, yada. Almost Home by Craig Morgan.
yeah.
It's like, I was almost home, bro.
Yeah, you were. So we Narcaned you and brought you back.
Yeah,
What is
like
it?
you were definitely getting ready to enter.
So one of the things, and I'm sure he can agree, is when we're on scene with one of them, we're about to arrest them, and then they start complaining like, "Oh, I'm hurting, I'm
Chest
hurting."
Oh
pain,
my
chest
gosh.
pain.
So then they get into your truck, and then you might transport them, whatever. What's the car ride or the vehicle ride from there to the hospital if you have to take them? Because now they're not in our custody; they're in your custody, so we don't get to see how do they stop being whiny, or they're like, "Oh, thank God I didn't get arrested, so they're fine now," or what?
So, I mean, usually it's we get about 3 or 4 minutes away, and they're like, "Oh, hey, I want to get out."
Oh.
You know, so they have all right to refuse care once they're in the ambulance. Things like, "Hey, I don't want to go now. I want a PRC." That's usually what happens. Is we call it gelitis. Is automatically there's a cop there. Oh, I have chest pain, or I'm having a seizure, or some of these other.
You would be surprised how many people are allergic to jail.
Oh,
Yeah,
a lot. It's
yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
And it's usually about 3 or 4 minutes down the road, and like, oh hey, I'm good. I want to leave. So like, okay, sign my paperwork. They hop out.
Like, hey, is the cop gone?
As long as you
'Cause
drop them off,
I'm feeling a lot better now if he's
I mean,
gone.
I don't know how many times they're like, oh, we're not gonna talk. Like, you know, they get in the ambulance. Oh, well, you guys are cops. No, I'm medical personnel, not a cop. I don't care what
Yeah.
you did, what you took. I just need to know what you took, so I don't give you something that's gonna give you a adverse reaction with it.
Yeah.
And usually we get like a page long of stuff they just took. It's like, oh man.
Well, I just assumed that we don't really get to see them being all whiny with you on the way.
Oh, usually they're not. They're just whiny on scene when you guys are there. And once you guys leave, or we leave, completely 180.
Yeah, they're fine.
Like, oh, I'm fine. I just said that so
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to jail. Cool.
exactly.
Or we do take them to the hospital and they get angry with the doctors and stuff, and they get AMA'd, kicked out of the hospital
What is AMA?
against medical.
Advice?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, I guess I knew the whole time. I don't know what it is about. They just like that's just like their go-to. It's just like the
Yeah.
overplayed.
Especially when they're already in jail too. Then they're like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
on all these
Oh my gosh,
medications.
yes.
Can I see the doctor? Like
It's
my
always
belly
that.
hurts."
Like once they're like incarcerated, they're already there. It's like their first instinct is like try to go to the hospital.
Well,
I mean, it's because if you're booked into a facility or in a jail or a penitentiary,
Yeah.
the jail or the penitentiary is liable to pay your medical bills.
right.
So they
But
ought
most of the time, it's not anything wrong. They just literally want to
because
go somewhere else.
it's a break, and they've even told us that I just needed to get out for a few
Yeah.
hours. I needed to get away from my cellie or some other BS reason.
Yeah.
They're
That's
trying to get
like
out of jail.
Oh no,
They're
no,
trying-
they're trying to get
jail.
OR bond as
Yeah,
much as
they'll-
possible.
They'll say they can't breathe at the when we handcuff them, they can't breathe. They need to go to the hospital.
Whoa. We're not getting that deep.
Oh,
Soft topics.
No, that is true though. It's always, ouch, this or that or
What's the stupidest thing you guys have been told not
Or-
to be arrested?
to not be arrested.
Yeah, like if you could put them in handcuffs, what is their automatic like? What is
I
the
broke
stu-
my back.
Like-
no, it's I work. I mean, I guess it's not stupid. I work the next day, or something about like their baby mama in other towns, cousin,
Yeah.
sister owes them money, and something stupid like that. I mean, it's not. We don't really have too many crazy excuses. It's more, I can't go to jail. I have to pay this, or I can't go to jail. I need to be here tomorrow. What I
Or
mean?
this is my old lady's car. She works tomorrow and I don't.
Yeah, that's a,
You know what I mean?
Every time that the person's driving like suspended or revoked, and we're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
arrest them, and they're by themselves, it's that excuse.
Or it's the some variation of, oh man, I tried, or I've been doing this and I've been to court on it, yada yada yada.
Or I just got it in the mail saying it's reinstated.
Yeah,
and they haven't
yeah.
sent anything.
Like,
to
where's
me.
it at? Something I'd keep with me if I was.
Yeah, I
driving
carry
around.
my wallet or something.
Yeah.
Glove box.
Well, I don't really know. Like, there's that one guy I know you know I'm talking about. His initials are LY in town.
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah, yeah,
arrested him probably quite literally like 15 times for driving while revoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
At this point, it's like I go up there and I'm like, he's like, "You taking me in?" Yeah, come on. It's like, come on, man.
I always like the ones where you take them and then you kind of do like a book and release ticket,
Yeah.
and then in 10 minutes they go back to the same car, get it, and leave.
I mean, the little guy he's talking about, I was with you on a ride along, and he did that. And we sat on the car, and he came back to the truck down at the square, and we had did the same thing over and over again, like 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, I told you to call somebody
His
else to pick
excuse
this
that
up.
night was, I'm like, why are you even driving? Like, you're revoked. He's like, well, I wanted some donuts from Casey's.
Yeah,
Which
He was eating
he
donuts
did. He
while
was eating
revoked.
donuts when we got
He
up
lives
there.
2 blocks away.
He literally lives 2 blocks away from Casey's.
Listen, man,
And
walking
he's felony
sucks.
revoked.
Donuts are important.
Yeah, dude, he had them all. He had it all over his face. He had a powdered donut all over his face. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I was getting some donuts. man."
Wait, it was. I remember that. I showed up on that.
Yeah,
he had them
he
in
was
his
at the
passenger
square,
seat.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's funny.
that was when we worked for the sheriff's office. I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
it
was for the SO.
I think I was on Lake Patrol.
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like the stupidest of stupid excuses all the time. All the time.
got a question for you, Chief,
Oh god.
because we talked about this on our first podcast.
Oh,
What was your most oh shit moment responding to a call?
Like running code.
Like your scariest moment?
probably gonna have to do with running code.
Oh, more
If
or
it's
less.
an oh shit.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
It is.
Plowing that,
It is true.
plowing that cow.
Oh, the cow video.
Oh, dude, that's got my heart rate up watching that.
Well,
Real quick though, how many patrol cars have you totaled in your career?
Probably less than
Tahoe. Well, it's not total. You can't say total because I only totaled one car and it was my Tahoe. Hitting deer or wrecking them is a different number.
How many trash cans have you backed into?
Hold
like
up.
large ones.
Hold up. Like, you talking
Like
about
a
like the
dumpster.
5-yarders? Like the big ones, the metal
Yeah,
ones with the
yeah.
dual lids?
I have, to my knowledge, I don't know if I've hit any.
yeah. I remember that
Was
because
this
we had plans to go eat breakfast,
Oh.
and then I seen him pulling out of where we're eating breakfast. And I'm like, what's he doing? I was just getting here, and so I followed him over to the grocery store parking lot. And you're on the phone. I pull up next to you. I'm like, what's going on? I thought he was getting a call or something. He's kept pointing backwards, and I'm like, I'm not looking at the car. I'm looking behind him. Like, what? And he's like, look at my car. And I'm like, ooh, just like,
Listen, in my defense, I turned my side mirror to the bottom of my tire, so I was gonna hug the trash can. But the little arms that the trash can
that
picks
stick
up,
out.
yeah, I didn't see it, and I got too close.
I'd say had you seen it, you wouldn't have hit it.
Right.
So that's
But-
kind of
but
goes
the,
without
the,
saying.
the oh shit moment. I don't know if there's like
$9,000 worth of damage.
But
Just
we went to Subway. I was at a whole other agency, we went to Subway to get lunch and dinner. I guess is like 9 o'clock at night, almost right before they close. Semi truck got caught on fire
Supper.
cross county on fire. So I'm running code to that, finishing my Subway sandwich because I'm not gonna not eat.
Yeah, we
right?
can tell you're not a small guy.
Okay. Anyway,
Very handsome though, and muscular.
Anyway, it was kind of like the cow incident.
How much can
but
you
with a
bench
deer.
press?
Huh?
How much can you bench press?
I don't know. Not very much.
450.
Not very much.
How much? 450.
I wish.
I've seen you bench press 450, haven't I?
I think when you
425.
when you were going to the gym with me, I did 425.
Okay, 425. Obviously, I still go to the gym.
He stopped going to the gym like a year and a half ago.
I do calisthenics occasionally, once a couple months. Anyways, continue with your story.
I mean, other than that, I don't know if I've had like responding code like the cow that I almost hit at 75 miles an hour going to the semi, almost smoked a deer at 100 miles an hour going to the semi on fire, which I probably shouldn't be going that fast, but I was on a highway. So,
Yeah,
there
are no rules.
So what you're saying
You
is
know.
you were following the proper procedures of the speed limit per your agency.
Yes.
That's how you get out of that one.
It's all about
Yeah.
policies.
Yep.
It is all about
All about how you write it up.
Well, our policy was like wrote in crayon over there that said drive it till the wheels fall off.
Hey, as long as
So-
doesn't have to be written down. It could be a verbal policy.
I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this one up because we're out of time. If you guys don't already, follow me on TikTok, Sheepdog291. Go follow Chief Big Daddy Z117, I believe, is your handle on TikTok. And Band-Aid isn't really on social media,
This is about as much as social media as I do.
so you can't really follow him.
Nope.
But also like and subscribe to this video. We're gonna make more, obviously. It seems like we're getting some pretty good positive feedback. Also, I do have a comment from one of the first videos that I'm going to touch on a little bit at some point. I want to engage with you guys whenever you make comments, so don't think I forgot about you. But we're running out of time here, so we're going to wrap this one up, and thanks for watching, guys.